Welcome to Van Life with Steve, and thank you so much for joining me on the road to South Dakota. In this episode, I'm just going to show you some stops I made on my way from Illinois to South Dakota. So let's go ahead and take a look. Our first stop is going to be Iowa 80, which is reportedly the world's largest truck stop in Walcott, Iowa, just off I-80, the I-80 interstate. Inside, they have this really cool super truck showroom where they got this really nice tricked out truck, and you can see various accessories and everything, and it gives you a great chance to actually get inside of a semi truck. I'd never seen the inside of one, and so it was really nice to get in here and see what kind of accommodations truckers actually have. It's pretty nice. It's not something I would trade the van for, but it is pretty nice. In addition to the truck custom shop, which is kind of like Los Santos Customs but in real life and for semi-trucks, they have an entire store for anything a trucker would need. They also have, you'll see as we kind of do a spin around, they have a barber, a dentist, you can get showers there. It's really nice. They also have a laundromat, which I did use, and I'm so appreciative to come across this place. It's one of those places where you can just roll up. They have a place for RVs to overnight. You don't have to ask anybody or anything like that. And so I really enjoyed stopping here and doing my laundry and getting some rest for the night. I do feel like the food was maybe like a little bit expensive, but otherwise it was really okay, and it's definitely an interesting place to check out. Next up, continuing further in Iowa, we have the Field of Dreams movie house in Dyersville, Iowa, which was the set used for the house and the baseball field in the 1989 movie Field of Dreams, starring Kevin Costner, James Earl Jones, and the late great Ray Liotta as Shoeless Joe Jackson. Now, when you come onto the property, they do request a $20 donation, quote unquote, and it refers to a line in the film. I still need to go back and rewatch the film to see if it's actually in there, and they do actually ask for $20, but it seemed to me if you didn't actually fork over the $20, they kind of didn't want you there. You know, I'm not a super big fan of the film, but I am aware of it, and it was kind of neat to come by and actually see the movie set. The baseball field it seems somewhat different than was in the film, but you do still have the cornfield there. In the distance, you may have saw the Field of Dreams baseball field that was built by Major League Baseball, where they play a game every year. And when I visited, they had actually just played that game and were in the process of dismantling parts of that stadium. The gentleman speaking to the people in the stands there, I believe he was an extra in the movie, and he's kind of giving them like a tour of the site or whatever. But if you're a baseball fan or a fan of the movie, I'm sure this is really a special opportunity to come here and play catch or to hit a couple balls with your family or something like that. The baseball field is a pretty good size, and the cornfield, I think bigger cornfields are in Illinois, but cornfields in Iowa are pretty big too. And here are the famous corn stalks. They do ask that you don't go more than 5 feet into the corn, because then otherwise maybe children of the corn will get you or something. But it was pretty neat to get in there and walk into the corn, and a lot of people I saw were doing their little movie moment where they were filming themselves walking out of the corn. But if you're a big fan of the film, or you're a really big baseball fan, I would recommend stopping by for a visit. The house is also available for tours, but it was booked out for the day, and that's an additional fee. And I'm like, well, that'd be nice, but I'm not that big of a fan. So anyways, yeah, if you're a fan, check it out. I enjoyed it. If you're enjoying this content, I'd appreciate it so much if you'd please give me a like. If you want to see more videos, please consider subscribing and turn on the bell for notifications. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the video. Briefly, I did stop by the Buddy Holly Memorial, which is the crash site of the plane where Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and Richie Valens passed away. It was an interesting thing to see. Obviously a somber place to visit, because it was a pretty terrible thing to happen. But being a fan of the La Bamba movie with Lou Diamond Phillips, this is definitely an interesting place to visit. And so if you're any kind of a fan of the Big Bopper or Buddy Holly or Richie Valens or anything like that, definitely come out here. It is a bit of a long walk it's a lot longer walk than I thought down the cornfield. There's a parking space that's across from the Glasses Memorial, and they do ask for a donation, but otherwise there's no fee. Now, the most important reason as to why I visited Iowa was to go visit the Winnebago factory. I had them do some warranty repair work, and I'll speak about that at more length in another video. Generally, this is very interesting. They have a museum, and you can also do a factory tour. And the most interesting thing about the factory tour that I remember, apart from seeing how they build the van and all that stuff, is they had a machine that is maybe like a water cutter, or it's something like, it uses water pressure to cut fabric, and it's like 50,000 pounds, or it would like cut your finger off. And so that was kind of a wild thing to see. But the Winnebago, all the people at Winnebago were extremely nice, and it was very interesting to meet the same people that built my van. Next up on our journey to South Dakota is going to be the Jolly Green Giant statue in Blue Earth, Minnesota. Here's some information about the statue. You can see he's 55.5 feet tall, which is just about half the size of the actual statue part of the Statue of Liberty. And he's made out of fiberglass and has been in place since 1979. So essentially what I did here was Forest City, where Winnebago is, that's in the northern part of Iowa. And so I went north through Iowa to connect up with I-90, which is our northernmost interstate. Anyways, this is a nice little tourist trap. Doesn't cost you any money. And as expensive as gas was last summer, it's nice to come by something where they weren't price gouging or anything. So the Jolly Green Giant is actually one of the top advertising icons of the 20th century, just behind the Marlboro Man and Ronald McDonald, and ahead of the likes of the Energizer Bunny and the Michelin Man and several others. Now, the Green Giant statue is approximately 60 miles south of Le Sueur, Minnesota, where the Mountain Valley Canning Company, which would go on to become Green Giant Company, was founded, and it's now based out of Minneapolis and owned by B&G Foods. So as we get ready to leave the statue here, I kind of think I'm forgetting something. Oh yes, that's right. Here is the Green Giant's mysterious rear end. Yes, as the story goes, no one knew what his backside looked like, and so they had to commission an artist or something to design his back end for that statue. Also within the park and next to the Jolly Green Giant is a small statue of Sprout. Across from the parking lot from the statue, they have the Visitor Center, and it has everything you ever wanted to know about Green Giant. The entire history of the company, all the toys, all the marketing, they got it all. It's really nice. There's no charge, but there is a donation box if that's what you want to do. They also have some old mock-ups of the canning equipment that they use to can the beans. Our final stop in this video is going to be the Lewis and Clark site at the Missouri River Overlook in Chamberlain, South Dakota. So at the rest area, they have some exhibits about the Lewis and Clark expedition. They also have a mock-up of a boat that you can see. I didn't get any pictures of it, but that all is pretty neat. Outside, they have this interesting teepee. I don't know if it's a sculpture or quite what it is, but it was kind of interesting. See here with these flags, what a windy day it was. Also, they have the Dignity statue, which celebrates the history and the culture of the Dakota and Lakota peoples of the area. This is a really fabulous statue. It's about 50 feet high, and it's very, with the angles and all that on the statue, it's a really interesting thing to see in person. So while you could say that this is merely a rest stop, but it is a really a great place to stop because they also have some trails to get great look at the Missouri River. And if you just kind of think back to with Lewis and Clark or whomever else, the people that, had to make this arduous or hazardous journey, and now numerous people just drive their cars right across like it's no problem. So it's really just a fascinating place to stop to learn some history, and you get a great view. The other thing I noticed was, despite being in the Great Plains, I think at this point, there were still quite a few trees. But I noticed once I crossed this river, all the trees went away. And then there was no question that you were in the Great Plains then. Here's just some artsy footage of the grass blowing in the wind. After stopping here to relax and eat some lunch, it was time to cross the river and head off to the next great adventure. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.